virtual opening.
Thank you, Anne. And yes, welcome everybody. I think I'm even behind now on this number. We had 80 members when the slide was created. Anne, are you moving the slides forward?
Hang on.
Uh-huh.
Well, here's our team.
Oh, we skipped the new members, but that we have 80 members renewing and 18 brand new members, many of them from outside of the state of Minnesota, which is pretty exciting. And I see a lot of folks here that I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet in person. So welcome to all of you. Yes, this is the leadership team that is in place today. We do have 4 board positions. The president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer positions are all going, they're 3-year terms, and they are all ending in May of 2025. So we've got some time, but it's not too soon since we don't have large numbers of people so far expressing an interest in moving into one of these leadership roles. And I would really want to encourage you all to think about that over the next few months. If you've got questions, we do have position descriptions available. You can certainly talk to any one of the board members about what that role entails. And we would love to have some new faces on the board. So give that some thought.
Thanks, Colleen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I could address this also, more service opportunities. We have agreed, and I have we now have our logo on the Roman Holiday Conference website to contribute to the swag bags. And what we are going to contribute, and we'll be seeing more about art trading cards soon here when Anne starts sharing with us some things that are exciting things that are going on. But we anticipate 350 to 400. We'll have a pretty good idea, I think, within the next week or two about how many folks are planning to attend. And I think you've all seen the art trading card packets that we've created before. We sent them in our new member mailing earlier, I guess last year. But what we're looking for are 20 3.5 by 2.5 cards per packet, and then we will include the instructions that Patricia put together for our Makers U last year, modified a bit for this purpose. But if people are interested, I've got some paper that was donated to us by Julie Cardozo that I will be happy to cut. But we also have an opportunity if anybody is interested in just cutting up about 400 3.5 by 2.5 inch size cards, and you could get those to me, and we'll organize a little packing party somewhere closer to the date. I think we need to have them by May if we plan to mail them, which I think is what we committed to do. So you can text me, email me, call me if you're interested in doing that. Any kind of paper would be fine. And it would be nice to have a variety. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Is there anything else I need to address here, Anne, or do you have the program and job stuff?
You're up to date there. So thank you, Colleen. So a little bit of duplication here. Sandy talking about our members.
Yes, so just in the last couple of days, we got 4 new members. And yes, we had to update this just this morning. We have 20 members who just joined in 2023-24 season. So that's very exciting. And just a reminder that since we're going back to the once a year dues, we have, just to make it easier on everybody, we do have a mid-season membership. So we put that up if someone decides to join halfway, they pay a less dues, but then they hopefully join in again in the fall with the full dues, just so we can keep everybody on track there. And that seems to be working pretty well. We just switched over to that. So yeah, that's good on members. And oh, that's you, Anne.
So coming up this coming week is one of our gum Arabic rub down sessions. or as someone called it, gather and rattle on, where sometimes we do more talking than we do art. But this coming Thursday, we're going to talk about painting jewels and practice some of our watercolor techniques and some of those magical activities. You need to go you can call me up for the Zoom link, or otherwise, if you go onto my website at ankz.com, there's a free class set up. And that just makes it a little easier for me to keep track of who's going to be coming in on those Thursdays. In March, February, I'm not available. March, we're going to do some grisaille work, shading gold. And then April, we're going to talk about taking care of our tools. So back to you, Sally, to talk about the other meetups.
Sure. We have first Mondays. I'm hosting those. It's online right now. I'm hosting those every first Monday. So the next one will be in February. And we are going to be talking about parallel pens. And just kind of people are going to bring them if they have them. We're going to learn about how to clean them and advantages, disadvantages, that kind of thing. The last time we met, we were supposed to do parallel pens, but then we just got talking about other things, and as does happen, but it was a lot of fun. So the next one is, what is that first Monday? I didn't write it down. February 5th, whatever that Monday is. And then third Sundays, they usually fall after we've had a Saturday workshop. And when people get together, they sometimes talk about maybe what was happening in the program before. So that's moving along. Inkin' and Drinkin', Maura has offered to kind of bring back our coffee shop and or brewery sessions. So if you're interested in that, I don't know if Maura is willing to put her email in the chat.
Sure, I would be happy to.
okay.
I really appreciate the all-inclusive nature of drinking. And so still trying to figure that out. We're about to, yeah. So anyway, I'm committed to doing it. I just don't know how soon.
Good. Yeah.
I know
so
you've
just
heard
keep
that
an eye out.
before.
Yeah. Well, just
Yeah.
everyone, if you are interested, just keep an eye out, and you know, we'll, I'm sure Maura or the colleagues can help as well put together, you know, lists so you guys can kind of keep in touch and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Sally.
sure. And and then Anne does have a reminder at the bottom that if you say you and some other colleagues maybe, I don't know, had a similar interest and just wanted to chat and get together on your own and create your own sort of meetup and study group, one of the member perks is that you can use the colleague's Zoom account and have a meeting go on then longer than the 40 minutes with the free Zoom account. So you don't have to get a paid Zoom account. So consider that if you'd like to create your own gathering.
Email is now in the chat, Sally, and everyone.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
And then just a reminder that we have the members only page. When you do pay your dues, you get the new password for the season. And this page is a work in progress. We're always adding things, but it's a great resource for information, for direct links. Since it is private and password protected, we have the directory on there and other links to the meetups. We don't have to go through the extra steps of registering. We can just be pretty confident that we're only letting people in our meetings that we want as far as members. So visit the members only page. And social media, just a reminder to follow, share on any or all of the platforms that you might use. And if there's anyone interested in posting things, let me know and I can give you the password and you can post away.
That's awesome. And the reminder for social media is if you're not following us on Instagram or Facebook or our YouTube channels, we have 2 YouTube channels of videos from meetings, videos from workshops, and you can't find them, reach out to webmaster at colleaguesofcalligraphy.com and Sally will point you in the right direction. There's some really good resources out there, and there's a good way that, those are good ways to collaborate and share what we know. We have a lot of really smart, really experienced people here. And these are just some of the ways we try and keep in touch and learn from each other. Those of you that are getting your latest edition of Bound and Lettered, you're going to see that our very own treasurer, Patricia Paoella, is on the cover. She's our cover girl, with some of the trading cards that we have been trading here with the colleagues. They joined a group that I had started in the middle of the plague. And last year we traded 880 cards. And I'm seeing more and more colleagues joining in every month. And we're really expanding the depth and breadth of what people are sharing on our trading card group. So this is a mail only trading card group. You get them in the mail, they come up to me, and I then do a trade, and if you send me 6 cards, you'll get 6 back. And if you send me 10, you'll get 10 back. And it really is a great way to celebrate the art that we do. It's my primary way of practicing a lot of things, as I'm doing 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards, and it makes me happy. So details for that are up on our members only page, I believe. They're up on our Facebook as well. They're in the newsletter. So join us. It's a great way of sharing some calligraphy with a whole bunch of other artists. Venue updates, we're looking at expanding our in-person to include November now. So we're looking at doing September, October, November, April, and May meetings will be in person. We've had a positive response to returning to Plymouth Congregational Church. So we're looking at that for next year. Our April meeting, Georgia is locking us into a local library for our April meeting. And then Janie, I wanted to call on you. Janie was at a meeting this morning about the Art Center update. So maybe you can give us some update on that, Janie.
Okay, the Edina Art Center, I did speak with someone that deals with scheduling space there, because the colleagues has rented space for Saturday, Sunday, weekend workshop events in the past at the Edina Art Center. However, they are not using that space at all anymore, because it's just not ADA handicapped accessible for the space. So a good part of the building is not being used. With that said, the Edina Art Center will become in the future combined with a brand new Southdale Library building. And the current Southdale Library building is going right now, it's in the planning stages, design stages. I was just at a meeting this morning just before our Zoom on that project, and the architecture firm, for those that are interested, is MSR Design, which is Myers Shearer Rockcastle, and they did the renovation and design of the space where the Center for Book Arts is now. That was one of their projects earlier on. MSR Design just last year won the Best Public Library in the World award for a beautiful public library they did for Missoula, Montana. So there's a lot of excitement. I know they are a very good, well-seasoned architecture firm. They approached the city of Edina in last April to see, hey, we hear you're thinking of having a new art center built or whatever. And they said, how would you like it to be part of the Southdale Library project? So the city has given them a full green light on that, and it is part of the planning process right now. So I spoke with our Edina Arts person at that meeting also today. Yeah, just to give her a better feel for what our needs have been in the past, how we have used the art center. And I'm hoping that now that she is aware of how we've done workshops at the current Edina Art Center building, that in the future that one of their classroom spaces is someplace where we could do future workshops. It's going to be a beautiful building with
That's exciting.
yeah, nicely designed, sinks in every room kind of thing. It's going to be lovely. So
Much needed. Well, thank you, Janie, so
Yeah.
much for
Yeah.
participating and presenting our interests. We've partnered with the Edina Art Center for so long. And as we've been gypsies for the last 2 years trying to land on a venue, we have realized just what a shortage there is of spaces that are conducive and available for people to rent to make mess in. And this sounds like it'll be a great addition to our community.
yeah, a few years down the road though. So
Yep,
tear
it takes
down
time.
starts next year.
It all takes time, but it sounds like it's
Yeah.
the move in the right direction. So upcoming programs and workshops at a high level. February is Reggie Azell. March is Makers U. April is in-person meeting with Chris MacDonald, currently planned for the Highland Park Library. May 18th is our in-person meeting and picnic at Nelson Park. And then September, we're going to kick off our year of pointy things. That's our theme for 24-25. This year, our theme has been Gothic and Black Letter. And then in October, Michael Saul's going to come up to Minneapolis to do a lecture and intro to Spencerian, as well as intermediate and advanced Spencerian and flourishing workshops for us. So the February instructor lecture with Reggie Azell. He is an amazing calligrapher as well as gilder. And this presentation on Zoom will be all about gilding and not to be missed. The workshop on the weekend is the Saturday and Sunday. I did this workshop with him through the Memphis Calligraphy Guild, and it changed my appreciation for modern forms of black letter, as well as how we can put them in a composition. And I think Jean Formal, she had some thoughts on Reggie's workshop. Jean, if you want to unmute yourself and give us a little update, that would be super.
Well, mainly what I would like to do is encourage you, whether you've taken from Reggie or not. I have, and I'm going to be in the workshop. We are going to have an opportunity to really be taught by one of the teachers. He's a teacher's teacher. And those of us who have taken from him before know that, and how our lives definitely after a year of study were changed for the better. And many of us gained skills that we never would have had before. It was a true master class. This one will not be a master class, but at the end of it, you'll think, hey, I think I may have just attended a master class in Gothic black letter variations. He is a person filled with grace and humor and a high degree of skill. Some teachers will bring out those seeds in us, and we planted many during that year of study that a lot of us took from him way back in the late 80s and early 90s, when he came every month to teach us. And we did things that we never thought we could ever do before. He is a gifted teacher in another aspect, is because he starts where the person is. And that's an important thing. He knows, a really good teacher has an excellent eye. They have to have that. Because when we're in the class, sometimes we can't see what's really there, okay, especially in our own work. And so we need a kind eye to show us. And so that way we grow. I really hope that many of us will decide, either I want to take from Reggie again, or I want to meet this guy that everyone's talking about. His career has just expanded over the years, and he no longer travels to a town. He does pretty much everything on Zoom. But when he was in his prime teaching years, he was flying around the country literally every weekend to a different city. And those of us who in the class we got to know other people around the country. Some of my good friends are in Seattle, where they took his class over and over. And we eventually met each other because he would show slides of each class's work in each class. So we began to know about him. Many of his students end up to have been conference teachers then, went on to be conference teachers. You'll be taught by some of them when you go to the Davenport conference this summer. So I really encourage you, to think about seriously doing this weekend workshop. And the price is right too, I think. Okay.
Thank you, Jean. Yes, we have kept the price point accessible, and Reggie also is giving people who sign up for the class access to his instructional video, Basic Black Letter. I think it's about 2 hours or 3 hours of instructional video that you can lean into even before the workshop starts. And it will remain a resource for you even after the workshop is finished. It's on Zoom. It will be recorded, and the recordings will be for you to keep. Reggie's not one of these instructors who says you've got a month to watch the recordings and then they're gone. He feels that the recordings and his copious handouts, there's more handouts than God from his classes, those are part of the investment that you're making in his workshops, both in terms of time and money. So he's a very, very generous instructor. He's not planning on teaching this workshop again. He is cutting down a lot of his teaching, and it gives us a unique opportunity to learn from one of the people that I regard as a master. So you can sign up for that on our website. That's February, and then the fun keeps coming. March is our Makers U, March 15th and 16th. We have a great cadre of instructors. Our keynote speaker Friday night is Heather Held, and she'll be doing a 2-hour lecture and workshop on offhand flourishing. And this is a little taste of our theme for next year. our 24-25 theme is pointy things. So this is a little taste and also a little teaser because Heather will be coming back in February next year, 2025. She'll be teaching us Italian hand and some of her advanced flourishing on a Zoom format next year as well. So the Friday night is our keynote presentation, and that's available for everyone. And then Saturday, this is our lineup. There is an early bird discount. So sign up for that. Our early bird discount is Maker U 5 to get $5 off the Saturday. Friday night is free. Saturday, we share all of our talents. These are people that are members of our guild who have set aside a chunk of time to share the stuff that they know. So that's our upcoming, the next 2 months of programming. And we're super excited. Are there any questions or any other announcements from the group before I introduce Della and we get to play with our kitty?